Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eziel, Lancer on Feral Valley, and this is my weekly update number 5, June the 5th. And we've got a couple things we're going to cover. So, from a high level standpoint, we're going to go over some changes that have happened in Terra in the last week. We're also going to go over some of the projects that I'm currently working on. And then for the final, we're going to go through the Feral Valley server for those that are interested in exactly what's going on with our Van Ark system and things over here on Feral Valley. I figured that format might help out a little bit for those that are not on Feral Valley to cover all the other stuff first. So I got a little bit of a frog in my throat here today. Been coughing quite a bit, and I think hopefully I'm not getting sick. But all right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let us talk about some of these things here. The first thing is that on Masse release that they gave us a sneak peek of some of the future content of what's going to be coming across with Terra. Most notably, we're going to have Lancer and Warrior changes that are going to come across, and from some of the things we've seen across from the Korean Terra, at least I know for the Lancer perspective, is we're going to have a jump back ability and then also some sort of jump taunt. And I know that the Warriors, they're going to be some sort of block that's going to be initiated in there. So nobody really knows the very specifics that are going to come across from the Korean servers over to Terra. One thing to note is that these changes were actually being implemented before I think even North American Terra was actually released. So I know there's a lot of speculation on, the dungeons and LFD stuff has caused En Masse to do these things. The rumor is not true. Things have already been put in motion before this even happened. So the good thing is that we're going to basically have Warriors will be able to tank, which will be great. That'll hopefully free up some of the LFD. I know a lot of DPS and a lot of healers are having to wait anywhere from half-hour to 2-hour times just to get into these dungeons. And so hopefully this will help things out just a little bit. And then also I know there's going to be some cross-server 15 versus 15 PvP. And I'm not sure exactly. They didn't really give us an ETA on when all this is going to be done. It's just that it's going to be in the upcoming, toward the summertime. So hopefully we'll also get the battlegrounds around that time as well. Now, also, if you guys have been paying attention, last weekend we actually had, or this last weekend, we actually had the Nexuses that were released. And there's actually a schedule out there. So June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we had Nexuses at 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Friday and Saturday Pacific time. And then Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. Pacific time. And so those Nexuses were some pretty big bands. I went out there as a level 47 or 48 and kind of spectated and then left because there really wasn't much I could do. I couldn't even really get close to get any good screenshots or get any really good video on that. So looks like we've got the Nexuses out. I know that there's a lot of new gear that's going to be available for those that participate in those. So if you're not level 60, get there ASAP. So that way you can start working with others and getting that stuff going. I know that there's been also some talk as far as that the outlawing and stuff was, when you're inside that Nexuses, there's no outlawing, but GVG is available. So it's kind of weird that they allow the GVGing. I know that caused some speculation, some frustration for some folks that were in GVGs at the time, making it very difficult to team up and get some of those things, some of the new stuff out there. Get that new gear. Now, another thing too, which is really awesome, this actually was just announced yesterday, that they are now allowing a free trial of Terra, and it's more or less like an online demo that you don't really have to download anything. There's no download required, so that's pretty cool, I think. Unfortunately, I think the demo side of this is that they're going to basically be stuck with doing like the level 20, prologue or whatever. So that's kind of a bummer on that aspect. So, of course, I don't know. I haven't downloaded it, but if you've downloaded and checked it out and you want to let me know what's going on, feel free to leave a comment here. I'll be more than happy to do that. But at least now the new players have an ability to try out before they actually purchase Terra. Now, we've actually had patch 17.29.03 release. Nothing really major about this release. As far as like gameplay action, there's really nothing that's changed much, other than just the daily quest reset is now going to be 8 a.m. Pacific time instead of 7 p.m. Pacific time. So that way, if you're still up late or whatever, you can go in and do your thing, really quickly in the next morning. And then they've also done some changes as far as where it requires a lot less players in order to open up a new zone or a new channel in a new zone. So we'll see kind of how that aspect helps things out. I know a lot of the different zones were only one channel that I've seen here, especially in the 50s and 60 areas. And as far as other things inside game, probably the most substantial thing is that the LFG channel is no longer spammable. You actually have to wait 1 minute before you can post another thing. I know I don't even look at that LFG channel. Just every now and then I might peek in, but I very rarely do because of the spam. But because of this, I may try to go out there and kind of see what's going on with that. Hopefully that'll bring some of the spamming back to the area and just the actual area chats and say chats areas. And then as far as outside of that, they implemented the transfer changes, which means that your level requirement now is level 10, and you are no longer allowed to transfer every 24 hours. It is now 7 days, and you're only allowed to take 30,000 gold with you, no more 100,000 gold. So make sure you definitely want to change, because you're going to be stuck on that server for at least 7 days. So when you make that change, make sure you're ready and you're prepared for that. So hopefully those changes will, I think they've kind of gotten to the point now where they've really got the server balances a little bit better, and so now they can kind of tie those down a little bit more. I know some other MMOs do charge for those transfers, but as of right now, the good news is there's no charge for the transfers for us. So as far as what I am working on here, I've actually just gotten 54 yesterday. Had a really good team going and doing some really good runs with questing, and it was very nice. I actually got my new lance. I got my new armor set. It was definitely very, very cool. Love the Grim Shield there, and I'll probably show you guys that here in just a minute. But as far as like what I'm working on right now, we attempted to do the Lancer LFD party, block party here this last, I think it was like Sunday. But, I think we had probably like 10 people show up, and 3 or 4 of those were Lancers. It was kind of one of those things where we were trying to schedule it. We had the Nexuses going on. There were some tournaments going on. We had just had the Van Ark stuff in. So it really wasn't a good time. So we're actually trying to line up when we might be able to do that again, to try to get more people out there. We definitely want to try to, set an example and try to get more people to see that there's actually really great Lancers out there that will team up with Berserkers, Archers, whoever, whatever's going on with you. So definitely look forward to that. I've got a couple more Terra 101 guides I'm going to put together here. I'm actually going to shift in a little bit more into my Lancer stuff just to kind of show some things that I do. May not be the same thing that other Lancers do, and maybe it may show you something else, or at least give you some sort of interest of, hey, here's something else that I can try. So I'm going to try to get some more Lancer information out there. And I've actually been working on my alchemy. I'm actually thinking about trying to do kind of like an alchemy guide to kind of show you how quickly you can get that up in a very cost-effective way. It's not very difficult. It's actually very, very easy. And I've got a lot of PvP, GVG stuff I'm going to try to compile together, upload a little bit here this last week. This last week's been kind of slow with work, real life, and some other stuff going on, trying to focus more on leveling to get to level 60, because I want to try to get that stuff taken care of. The other stuff too that we're going to be working on here is I'm actually going to start doing the village videos, going through, showing some of those hot spots there, just kind of doing my own thing. I saw some other videos some folks did with just kind of showcasing some of the towns, but mine are going to be more informational type things to hopefully help out newcomers in the different town areas as they get towards the mid-level, high-level areas. I'll probably start off with the low area ones first, though. And I've pretty much closed out all the complete Van Ark candidates for Cycle 1, since now we have all the Van Ark stuff taken care of. So one other thing, too, is I'm actually trying to line up interviews for this Thursday, hopefully Thursday through Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Thursday of next week. But what we're going to do is I'm looking to do kind of like a Van Ark interview, just to kind of go through. I've already messaged all 15 of the Van Arks on Feral Valley, asked them if they'd be interested in kind of doing an interview process where we just sit down and talk about how things are going in their region, their province, and see what their take is as far as with the Van Ark stuff that they've got the ability to do. How are they liking being able to do the taxes? How hard is it to get the policy points? Try to get a little bit more information for you guys so you can kind of understand exactly what kind of responsibilities and how difficult it is to really manage and be a Van Ark of a province, and hopefully bring a little bit more light to that situation. And then the following week, we're going to be looking at doing the Van Ark Cycle 2 interviews, which I'm really looking forward to doing that. Hopefully I'll still have continued support. I know last time I had 14 out of the 38 guilds that we interviewed, and those turned out really well, and I appreciate everybody for their participation. And there was a lot of conversation on the YouTube channel, and so as always, if you want to comment on something, you're more than welcome to do that. And so that's pretty much most of the project stuff on what I've been working on here, and I'm going to show you my back apparently. So but I think that's pretty much all the news on what my projects are, what I'm doing here. So I'm going to kind of shift gears into more of the Van Ark stuff, or not Van Ark stuff, the Feral Valley. There we go. If I can get it spit out somewhere. All right, let's see here. I want to go through here. I want to just add my shield here. I just want to show you guys this. If you're a level 54 Lancer or buff level whatever, you kind of see this lance right here. It looks pretty cool. I like it. So anyways, what I want to talk about though is I'm going to shift gears here. We're going to talk about not that. We're going to talk about the Van Ark stuff here. So let me shift here's my guy. Hide you. Ha, awesome. Hide that. All right. So now with the first Van Ark of Feral Valley here, I'm going to kind of just go through and talk about some things here. And one of the things is I'm going to kind of go through and show you. Basically, we've had everything set up here over the last probably 5 days roughly. So this is kind of things have kind of been going here. So let's check this out. So we're going to start with the Island of Dawn here. Now this is all Feral Valley stuff. We're going to talk about what the Van Arks are doing, what kind of results we had. And it looks like we have the Inquisitors of Island of Dawn. It's more of a Spanish, I believe, guild. And they are the Van Arks until June 22nd. They've had 1362 praise. And the edicts they've got is their general goods on sales tax is 3%. Their crystal sales tax is 3%. Their specialty stores is 3%. And basically 3% all the way across the board. Right now, they have no specialty stores, but I think it's because Island of Dawn has no specialty stores, but if they do, that's very interesting. But they do have the Cleric of Restoration on. Looks like they can't turn on or off the actual training guys there, so that's kind of interesting as well. So let's go ahead and talk about Arcadia, which has gotten, who is running this? We have Kittens. Yeah, Merle over with Kittens is running this. So this covers the zones for Fey Forest, Oblivion Woods, Valley of Titan, Celestial Hills, and Twine Mire. And they've got 583 praise. Looks like most of their tax is around 5%, but they do have some 5.9%. Very interesting numbers there. I'm kind of interested on why they chose that, but we've got general goods, sales goods, specialty store, flight tax, and teleportation tax, 5.9%. And we've got global PvP settings turned on, specialty store open, and noble clerics of restoration are on. So cool deal with that. All right, so good deal with that. Okay, so let's go over here to Osgarth here. Osgarth, this is Cutthroat Harbor and Castanica. Let's look and see what kind of stuff we've got going on with their edicts here. Looks like their entire taxes are 6% across the entire board. They do have all their global PvP settings turned on. They do have the specialty stores open. Notable clerks are good to go. Skill instructors are offered, and trade brokers are present. So good deal with those guys. Over in Poperia, we've actually got the Army of Ellen. Army of Ellen has about, well, they kind of got some change up here. So we've got skill training taxes at 2%. Then they've got everything else at 4.5%, except for crystals and the general goods store. The general goods stores and crystal is at 4%. Everything else is 4.5%. They've got the PvP to global settings turned on. They've got specialty stores on. Skills instructors is offered, and the cleric of restoration is there. Over at Valorum, we've actually got Nightmare over there. And let's see, they actually, wow, they have got their entire taxation set at 14.9%. All right, and they've got global PvP. There's no specialty store. There's no skill instructors, and the Cleric of Restoration is available. That's it. So very interesting with that. I definitely want to talk to Awaken and see how that's going there for them. Okay, so we've covered all 5 of those areas. Let's go over here to Southern Shara. Let's go to Essenia, which is Last Exile. We've got Sharpie right there. And Sharpie, everything is 1%. Global PvP is set. Specialty stores are open. Notable clerics of restorations are available. Skill instructors are offered. And trade brokers are present. Over in Westonia, we have Grim, led by Dreams. It looks like we've got 8.8% tax flat across the board. We've got global PvP settings set up. We have no specialty store. The clerics of restoration is available. We have skill instructors and trade brokers, which are available. So let's go look at the Val Undunum, which is Rayan over there, leading with Deja Vu. And it looks like their edicts, there's a little bit kind of weird here. We've got 7% on your general and your crystals, 7% tax, and then we've got 8% tax on specialty stores, 6% on your flight tax and skill training, and then 6.5% on your teleport tax. And we've got PvP settings, specialty stores open, cleric, instructor, broker, all good. Okay. The Val Parada, that's actually led over there by Carpe Noctem Suda. And we've got, looks like we have the entire 1% flat tax all the way across the board. We have global PvP settings, no specialty stores, cleric restoration, no skill instructors, and no trade brokers. Interesting. And if we look over here at Veritas, we have Strength, which is leading him. And we've got the edicts available there. 8% is all the way across the board. We've got global PvP settings. We've got specialty stores open. Cleric's restoration is open. Trade broker is open. But the skills instructors is not open. All right, so let's check out some of these other areas. Let's go to Slavonith. Slavonith, we've actually got kind of a little bit weird stuff here. So we've got general goods set at 6%, crystals at 5%, specialty store at 6%, flight tax 4%, skill training 6%, and teleport tax 6%. We've got the global PvP setting turned on. We have specialty stores open, clerics of restoration available, skill instructors offered, and trade brokers. And I don't think I mentioned that that's done by Shingo over there at the Warlords. Over in Lorcada, we've actually got Vivek's Core, Hivemind. They have a really small guild here that has 3.5% all the way across the board. They do have global PvP settings, specialty stores, notably clerks, skill instructors, trade brokers, all turned on. Very good. Valkylia, one of the larger ones here. We've got God Mode of Lithium, who has actually got 11.1% tax all the way across the board. And we've got user global PvP settings, specialty stores. Yep, everything's open. We've got instructors, brokers, everything's good. Helkin, we've got out with 7. So we've got a little bit weird setup here. We've got 4 on the goods of sales tax, or general goods, 4% on the crystals, 8% on specialty, 7.9 on flight, 1% on skills, and then 8% or 7.9 on the teleportation tax. PvP is set up, specialty stores are available, clerics and trade brokers present, but no skill instructors. Very interesting. Valtarkia, 5% all the way across the board, it looks like, from Pawpaw on the inner circle. And they do have specialty stores open, clerics of restoration, trade brokers, and skill instructors are all open. So, looks like everything is good to go. You can check out all the information here, clicking on the actual reign over there, and get all the information you want to. So it looks like there's some people with some stuff closed, but as far as I can tell, all PvP global settings are set up except for Island of Dawn, because of course that's the newbie zone. There's no way to turn PvP on over in the Island of Dawn. So I think that's quite a bit of information here. So anyways, I think everything looks good. So I want to try to get in contact with everybody, do some interviews on their reigns, kind of why they chose to do certain things, and then also get ready for the Van Arc Cycle 2 stuff and get you guys some more great interviews out of that. And if you have any suggestions, comments, or information, suggestions, comments, again, hit me up, let me know. I definitely want to hear what you guys have got to say. I'm going to try to get back on these videos here over the next week, a little bit more in depth on that. And if you guys have any questions, hit me up on the forums or on my YouTube channel. You guys have a great time, and of course, as always, happy hunting.